Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the HalfGen podcast. One of these days, I'm going to come at them and be like, welcome to another episode of Anigen. And they're going to be like, what? No way. One person is going to remember that show and be like, what?
Yep. And I think that one person is probably Jim.
No, it's Uranium.
Oh, yeah.
In chat, Uranium's the one who knows. One day I'm going to be like, this is the Anigen podcast.
I have to do it. In spirit of Anigen, I have to.
Okay. Yeah, no, feel free. We hid the Anigen podcast in that update, so Uranium can't find it. It's in the feed still. I think.
I think so, yeah.
It's not on the site. We don't talk about it anymore.
Hey, man, with the...
I couldn't see in the dark.
Oh, boy.
What is he doing? Oh? Is he putting on a robe?
There we go.
Is that your anime robe?
This is from Demon Slayer.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
It's on my to-watch list.
It's smaller than I expected, but you know.
Hey, it's not a jean jacket, so it's all good, man.
With no arms.
If you wanna, it's supposed to be like this. But here's the thing. You know what the problem with jean jackets? Here's the problem with jean jackets.
Okay.
Just size them bigger. Why are jean jackets the size smaller?
They want to be slimming.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You just already get a type.
Yep. So, yeah, at first I thought it was like flowy. I was like, is it Akatsuki from Naruto? And then it was checkerboard, and I was like, no.
Oh, it's not anime, but I wanted to talk about this at some point. I started watching Invincible.
Oh,
Have any of you watched it?
I've read the comics. I've heard the cartoon's pretty good.
I watched the first
I don't want to be
4 episodes.
Yep.
I don't want to get into spoilers if anybody plans to watch it. But that show is something else. It's like if Justice League was from the creators of Gears of War, you know? Just like heads getting squished and stuff, and like it's really like bloody and gory, but it's also like a really cool like, hey, this is kind of a reality that like does glorify superheroes, but also like realizes that they have to live around them, like with guns on the White House and stuff like that, because it's like dudes are gonna try.
Yeah. And have you how many episodes did they release all the episodes at once, or are they releasing them one by one?
I don't know. There's 8 right now, I think. So I don't know if that's the whole season, but they're like 45-minute episodes.
Nice.
So they're not like short or anything. They're good. I'm like, okay, yeah. So it is the full 8 episodes out.
Okay. Nice.
I like it. It's good. You know. I'm enjoying it.
If you like Invincible, I feel like you would like The Boys as well.
That's the other thing is like I'm told that I should watch that if I like Invincible, which so far I like Invincible. I'm not like it's weird. Like I like it and I have a ton of questions about the stuff going on in it, but then like I'm not like in love with it. You know, it's like it's a really good show and I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not like I got a buddy at work who's been hounding me like all week. He's like, you know what's great? Invincible. He's like, you know what you should do on your days off? Invincible. And I'm like, dude, if you talk about Invincible one more time, I'm going to tell you like the whole history of Destiny. He's like, that's cool. That's cool. Invincible.
he was willing to take that hit.
Like, no, but he'd just keep talking. And yeah, like I'd be talking about other stuff and he'd be like, yo, an Invincible, like this happened. I'm like, that's cool. And he'd be like, but then in Invincible, like, you know, this stuff. And he was just being like that. And
if you want me to never watch something, do that.
Yeah, no, I almost didn't. And I was just sitting here last night and I was like, man, like I just don't have anything to do. Like I don't want to play anything right now. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to watch Invincible. And I watched 2 episodes last night.
And you thought to yourself, but Invincible.
Like that first episode like ends in such a weird way. Like all these episodes have like that kind of like episodic...
Russell knows what I'm talking about, man. That's why I fucks with Russell.
Tell him what he said. The podcast can't see it.
Now you're the reading champion.
Oh my God. I don't know what I have. Russell says I have a Trafalgar's Law coat in my hoard of coats. I don't know who that is.
A demon hunter, I assume.
Well, Nat fucks with it, so that's all you need to know.
It's not. It's what you call it. It's Luffy's like not. No, I said Luffy. One Piece. It's the guy with the yellow shirt and the puffy hat from One Piece.
I don't do One Piece,
like that show.
But Chris, yeah, I think you would like The Boys because it's that same kind of hyper violence and kind of very like superheroes in real life. What does that look like? I don't really like the ride along character in that show, like the protagonist a lot of the time, but all of the supporting characters are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just like the idea of J.K. Simmons playing like a Superman who just kind of doesn't give a shit. Like he does, but he doesn't. Like he's, it's like if Superman was just over it, you know, and like, and he is just like, yeah, I do it, but it's just. I just do it at this point. Like he it's almost like he has no pride in his work. He's just like, he goes out, he saves the world, he comes back. He's like, hey, you want to go to fucking Paris to get dinner? Woo. Comes back. Yeah, I just beat a kaiju. Let me just go take a shower real quick. And let's go get dinner. I could be back from, Italy before the cheese is done bubbling. It's just like, he's just casually just like, yeah, I'll go anywhere. Like you want me to go pick up pizza? I'll be back in 3 seconds.
Sidebar: if Russell's ever on the podcast, he has to cosplay. That's what he just told me. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt your Invincible talk, but I feel like describing One Piece characters to somebody is very hard if you don't watch One Piece, because as somebody who watches One Piece, it's very confusing sometimes to explain to somebody who somebody is.
They're very lanky and their eyes are weird.
Yeah, I don't like the art style of One Piece.
I can't stand
One Piece art style is super charming. I love One Piece.
I mean, no, and
I haven't caught up.
More power.
One Piece pacing is the worst thing on planet Earth.
A lot of filler.
I don't know if I would say it's filler, but it's a lot of something, and there's a lot of it.
Well, that's the same kind of anime as like what Bleach was, what Naruto was, what Fairy Tail is. Is it's like, hey,
One Piece
instead of taking a break, they fill in the gaps.
No, One Piece, there's no filling in the gaps from One Piece. One Piece is just a long ass fucking show with infinite arcs. Like, there's just so much. Like, I wonder what episode they're out of One Piece now.
You can't convince me that every single one of those arcs is relevant and not filler.
Most of them happen in the manga.
Maybe they need to stop.
It's also just too long.
Yeah, it's just like that show is like unapproachable.
They're definitely in the thousands, like episode wise, and it's just intense.
I feel like any show.
What episode are we at in One Piece?
Okay, they can talk about One Piece. We'll keep talking about Invincible.
No, I haven't watched One Piece because I let it pile up at least 500 episodes before I binge.
Oh yeah,
So I stopped at like 800 episodes.
Yeah, I want to watch at least 500 episodes, and I'm just like, the moment it passed 100, it was never. This
is why I can't watch Invincible. I'm too busy watching One Piece.
I mean, you could finish Invincible in a day.
No, I don't, because my time is filled with One Piece.
You could watch both.
No, you have to commit to the lifestyle.
Boom.
I have too many anime I need to watch.
Plus, I don't want to be on the podcast anymore.
Too anime.
You said it was Anigen. I got excited.
We've created a monster. Nobody wants the HalfGen podcast no more. They want Anigen. You got to answer for our crimes, Ross.
Yeah, that's you don't realize some things are mistakes until.
Now we can continue. I'm done with anime. If I want to point out one thing, slowly my hair is gonna rise up and just stick straight up, because my hair doesn't want to stay down, so you can notice me messing with that all night.
That's okay. I was just messing with my hair because, like, I got like.
Yeah, that's this episode's.
I have a bad scalp.
This episode's anime arc is your hair progression from now to the end of the show.
It's powering up.
Yeah, and if there's anything,
it's not the anime arc is since we started doing video and the length of my hair till now. That's the real anime arc.
Oh God!
It's the hair arc.
It's so well integrated into the podcast, I didn't even realize the arc was going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know. See, when we stopped talking about Ness, I had to bring something else.
He always has something.
I'm gonna put a nest in my house when I buy my house.
I mean, you might as well. At a certain
I
point,
might have
it's
to come take the
economical.
trip up to install it for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
See,
hearing.
I'll network. He'll install the nest.
Yeah,
You've got a team of people ready to come and work for you.
JP's actually an electrician by trade. I'll bring him over, sort out whatever other gremlins, and you pay him unfairly, and we get it done.
Yeah. Just be like, here's a 6-pack. Just don't drink it while you're working.
Or do I don't know.
I don't know. However you do your best work. But yeah, Invincible is a good show. I hope it continues to be good. It's weird. The pacing gets a little weird in that show. Mm-hmm. It's kind of all over the place, and sometimes I feel like it rushes a lot of stuff. Like there's these conflicts early on, like in the first 3 episodes, or not the first 3, maybe like the 3, they're 2 through 4 or something, where like these aliens keep coming back, and the fight with them you would think would be like this big thing, but it's like just a very small part of the episode. And then like the next day he's back in high school, and it's like, okay, I want to know what's going on with that stuff. And then the next episode they come back and it's like, okay, we're going to fight him again for 5 minutes. And this fight looks like the first one, but it's a little more dire, and then it ends, they go back. And then the third episode, oh my God, and it's just something like that's the thing that I kind of don't like about it, is like the pacing's a little weird. It feels like it's rushing through the stuff I want to see more of. And then it's taking its time with the stuff I'm less interested in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like there's this whole like relationship going on, and I feel like it's been underserved through the whole show. And it's like, it feels like it's supposed to be this big thing, but like, there's just nothing really going on with it. It just kind of happened. I feel like it happened off screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of my
listening.
issue.
I was just trying to reply to Russell in chat, so we didn't have to talk about anime again.
You can talk about anime. This is an interactive podcast. We talk to chat.
Nah, man. All I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. When you go through something long enough, you just have to see it through.
Russell said he's too deep in One Piece to give up now. That's fair. I never started. I never even dipped my toes in, so it's too late for me.
Yeah,
there's no going in that pool.
I got deep into Naruto. I watched the entire first series and like the first half Shippuden, but then I just like fell off, and I want to finish it at some point because Shippuden actually got really good. So
don't start Boruto.
Yeah. In terms of just like timeline, or like it's bad.
Boruto is a story about Boruto's dad's son.
So him, you just a roundabout way of just saying Boruto.
It's just a joke. It's a joke that me and Samara said to go.
For a second, it's like
the funniest thing. Just relating everything, destroying Naruto's canon and all relating it to Boruto is one of my favorite things ever, because that show is shitty.
God, it was just like, for a second you saw like that gif of like all the geometric shapes are in my head right after you said that. Just like, oh, wait a second.
Just
talking about Boruto.
I've heard that. So I followed what he was saying, and I think that hurt me more than anything, is that I got it right away.
Yeah. Naruto does have a ton of filler. There are filler guides out there that I might try to follow at some point. I haven't watched anime probably
they need to
a year and a half or 2
like
years.
Stuff.
You should watch. You should watch. Here's what you should do. You should watch.
Here we go.
Non-serialized.
If you suggest One Piece to me, I'm gonna slap you across.
You gotta let me finish, man.
Okay.
You gotta watch non-serialized shows. So mostly Jump shows get serialized in a weekly basis. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, shows like that never end. A lot of those shows have come. Like those shows are a thing of the past, and now shows like One Punch Man and Mob Psycho and Demon Slayer are these shorter shows that come back like once a year, and they come back, and because they take 3/4 of the year off, they spend all that time filling it out, and most of the time they don't have filler. Right. Like there'll be a bullshit like, oh, let's go to the beach episode or something.
Sure.
But it's not like, oh, we're gonna spend 3 hours in this village that means nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't even hate on the beach episodes, because Valkyria Chronicles has a beach part.
I mean, that's just
that you can unlock, and like you got to do it. You got to do it because there's character building there. They
So-
use that as an excuse because they're like, hey,
Mhm.
we want to put these characters in bathing suits. And I'm just like, I want to see how these people are when they're not fighting a war.
So what I would say is the only shows that are still Jujutsu
I know it
Kaisen is
is
also
anime.
good. The only shows that are still like super serialized, I think, is like Black Clover is one of the newer shows that's like that gets updated like half of the year, pretty much. And I would say,
Gotcha. Yeah, it's
there's a lot of anime you could watch.
For,
You know what I'm saying? That
yeah.
isn't that.
Yeah, and I know, I just, there's so much out there. Hey, for anyone listening, tweet at me at RPOrlando91 on Twitter with anime recommendations that are not long series.
Remind me later, and I'll give you a list of some that are good.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the last full series I watched was.
Because we need to figure out what type of show you like and what are you looking for out of a show. And then, we'll give you something interesting that might not be like exactly what you expect, but it'd be in what you like and it'd be interesting. So
I still need to finish Attack on Titan. Fuck.
I've still only watched the first season of Attack on Titan.
I'm rewatching the first season. That might be what you should watch because I have heard that like every season of that is good. Like,
yeah,
I've heard nothing but good things about how that show is going.
I need to finish that Uranium.
I was kind of meh on the first season. I think it had just been built up too much by the time I got to it, and it's like the twist I thought was really obvious from the second it was introduced about who like the female Titan was, and then I was like, okay, and then it was still at the time where it was early enough to where I still had to wait for season 2, but at that point I just kind of fell off and never went back.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching season 1 again, because like there's a bunch of it like I didn't remember. I remember not liking it too much the first time I watched it, but I did like the twist, like some of the twists around the end. But I'm enjoying it a lot more watching it again.
Nice.
So I'm like actually like really excited to watch it. I think I kind of fell off when they announced that, like, because I was watching it because I know they were doing the final season. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this and get caught up. And then they were like, yeah, there's going to be a part 2 of the final season. I was like, fuck you. So I stopped. Because I was like, I'll get caught up. And I'm like, this isn't going to come out for like 2 years. This is COVID.
Yeah. Oh, I
actually think the new season of Attack on Titan is coming out right now, like part 2.
Maybe. Yeah. I know. I was kidding. But
I think the last newish series that I watched as it came out to completion was Aldnoah 0, which was this mech anime where like I think humans had colonized space. It was almost like a Killzone thing where like the space humans and the Earth humans were not super cool with each other, and there was like a princess murder or something, and then political intrigue. And I was like, this is fine, but I was like, maybe I'm not as into anime anymore. Like maybe that part of me has died. I don't.
Did you ever watch that Romeo and Juliet anime?
No, I never did.
It's really good.
I know.
Sidebar Russell. I read the manhwa for that, and it's pretty good. I haven't watched the show. Manhwa is just Korean manga, and there's a show based on a Korean manga that's pretty good. And I haven't watched it because I was reading the manhwa.
And this is Anigen episode 2. Congrats!
Yeah.
You finally got it.
We did
it. So
the
finish anime talk. This season, for anybody that cares, the only shows that I'm paying attention to this season are Tokyo's Revenge, because that show is fucking good, and to fill my lighthearted soul, I've been watching I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 years because I enjoy garbage sometimes.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Isekai trope about a lady who died from working herself to death, just living peacefully as the strongest being on the planet.
Oh, as you do.
As you do.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm looking for like some comedy anime, which have been really hit or miss with me. Like Devil is a Part-Timer is one of my favorites ever.
I think I watched that because of you.
Yeah, it's like
that show was really good.
That show
it was you or Zane who told me about that, but like I really enjoyed that show.
Like that show, like genuinely made me laugh like all the time, which is rare for even like non-anime.
You should check out Konosuba.
Konosuba?
Okay. Yeah, Konosuba.
Yeah, I need
Konosuba
to
is an isekai about this guy who's like not doing shit, right? And he gets reincarnated in this world, but it's like everything just goes wrong for him, and he gets like, so he like tricks the goddess to come with him, but she's a piece of shit. And then he gets this really powerful mage, but she can only use one spell, and it's super destructive, and it causes him a bunch of problems. And he gets a knight who's like royalty, but she's a masochist and likes to get beat up. So yeah, it's really funny.
Nice.
Konosuba's good, and I think there's like 2 seasons in a movie.
Nice. I'll look into that.
I have Funimation still. If you want it, Ross, I'm still
I think
subscribed to
Konosuba
that.
is
If you
on
want to watch
Funimation.
anything, I'm trying to remember. There's a show I watched with Zane.
I also have Crunchyroll that I could give to you guys if you guys would like.
Hold on, I want to find it's something zombie.
You already lost me.
No. It's not actually.
Thinking of Tokyo Ghoul or
No. It's a funny show.
Saga. Funny show. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Hold on. It's not actually a zombie. It's basically it. Is this a? I think is it? Yeah. Is this a zombie? I think is what it's called. Yeah. It's basically this guy. Like he gets murdered by a serial killer, and he gets resurrected by like some little like necromancer girl. So he's not a zombie. He's just like a normal dude, but he's technically a zombie. And so like he still goes to school, he lives his life, but he's a zombie. And like he just goes on like wacky adventures and stuff. And like at one point he goes into the woods and he meets a bear and he gets beat up by the bear and stuff like that. And it's just really funny.
Is This a Zombie is good, but is This a Zombie, borders on the ecchi side. So I mean, there's a lot of, borderline hentai scenes, so I would say
I did not see much of that in the English version. I can't speak for the Japanese subs, but I didn't have that problem with it from what I watched.
It's starts off kind of comedy, but it's more harem than it is comedy.
It does get a little harem-y, but like
that's something.
I think there's 3 seasons of that.
I can't stand harem anime.
Yeah.
That's why one of several reasons why Sword Art Online fell off for me pretty quickly, because it's like, well, this is just a harem anime. And even like this, like the latter half of Devil as a Part-Timer kind of became a little bit of a harem, which I didn't like. But in the chat, Russell said he cosplayed as Kakashi and went full send and dyed his hair. Nice. Kakashi's one of my favorite characters in all of anime. I love Kakashi so much. Like, I understand the dumps people take on Naruto, and I think a lot of it's warranted, but there are some genuinely fantastic characters in that show. Kakashi is one of those characters.
I think I think the biggest crime of Naruto is the fact that they didn't do more world building because all the characters are so interesting.
Yeah.
I think Boruto sucks because all the characters look so fucking cool, but the show fucking stinks. Who wants to follow a story about Boruto's dad's son?
God damn it. It's just I dislike you greatly.
Sounds like it's really time to just watch Full Metal
Jujutsu Kaisen is the new hotness that everyone's into.
I've heard about Jujutsu Kaisen. Is that dubbed?
I believe so.
Cool. I might watch that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of episodes.
Like for people in 24. Chat, for anime aficionados in chat, like some series I really enjoy. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of my favorite just television shows of all time, not the original series. Steins Gate is very good. It took a long time for me to warm up to it, but
that is definitely a warm-up show, but it gets there, and it's worth it. We watched that whole show in a weekend.
We did. Usagi Drop or Bunny Drop is... I really like that kind of slice of life. I don't like where the manga goes afterward, but I choose to ignore that exists.
You should watch Wagner over there. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the show about some people that work at a diner. It's pretty funny.
I mean, you go with the classics.
I like slice of life as well. Like a lot.
Yeah. Like I like Cowboy Bebop. It took me a while to warm up to that with just how episodic it was, and I didn't like Samurai Champloo from the same creator of it, to be honest. I like the aesthetic of it, but I couldn't get behind like the story really. Eden of the East. I love that anime and all the movies that go along with that.
Did you ever watch the movie Your Name?
No,
Name is good.
You should. It's
I know.
real good.
I
Like
know.
that's a good one to sit down with your wife and just be like, "Hey, we're gonna watch this tonight."
I have the Blu-ray for Your Name.
I do too. Like that. I saw that in a theater. I went.
I remember.
I did the
I remember you
classic
went there,
anime
yeah.
thing. I went by myself, and I was like, I have to. I heard everybody raving, and I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go see this movie. And I fucking like man, it got to me a couple times. Like that is a fucking damn good movie.
Sidebar: Jujutsu Kaisen is English dubbed.
Yes,
It's dubbed in like 7 different languages. So
I love that dubs are just getting so much easier to find now. I love that I don't need to wait years.
I don't know.
For
I don't
something to
know
get
about
dubbed.
Funimation, but it is on Crunchyroll, and I can give you the.
Well,
price.
I mean, they're both owned by Sony at this point, so
Yeah.
it should be good either way.
Okay, this is just going to be the second episode of Anigen because now I'm invested about finding what the hell I've watched to this point so I can get recommendations.
I'm trying not to go full anime, yeah, because I could.
What about
literally
Trigun?
talk.
Did you like Trigun?
Oh, I loved Trigun.
Yeah, see,
I
I'm here to
loved
help.
Trigun. Yeah, Trigun.
We need to
was
listen to
fantastic.
episode 1 and get our top 10 lists.
Jeez.
Did we list our top 10 list in that
We
episode?
did. That was episode 1. We talked about
Oh.
our top 10.
Wow.
I feel like
Because
the more
I
we
talked about Shuffle a lot, and I said you would like it despite it being a harem anime because it is a very harem-ass harem anime. But the characters are so good that like it's worth it.
This is more drama, but you should watch Erased. I highly recommend Erased. Erased might be
Oh,
one
I've
of
heard
the
Erased
shows.
is really good.
Yeah.
Erased.
So
Yu Yu Hakusho is the best shonen anime of all time. Don't
I-
get me started.
I started Yu Yu Hakusho when it was on Toonami, and I never got around to watching it all in order and finishing it. That's high
Yu Yu
on my list.
Hakusho
That is very high on my list.
Listen,
the best anime music, the best characters with the best arc, and the best villains.
Gundam
Hands
Wing.
down.
Gundam Wing. I would not have said that 10 years ago, but I finally sat down and watched all of Gundam Wing. You should watch Gundam Wing. It is good. It's got that classic, like, kind of 80s, 90s kind of anime style, Ross, like that perfect, like, Toonami style. It's got that classic look, but it's like, it holds up so well. Even the dub holds up really well. Like, Gundam Wing is really good. And that movie, Endless Waltz, is so good.
I need to watch some Gundam. I've never
Gundam
watched an
Wing.
entire Gundam series.
Start with Gundam Wing. If you like Gundam Wheat, Gundam Wing. If you
Gundam
like
Wheat.
Weed, Gundam
Back
Weed,
in-
Gundam Weed, baby. Gundam Weed 420.
Okay. Okay, so I have
I'm putting that in the titles.
yep, do it. Okay, I have my anime list up, which I haven't logged into in years. My favorite anime of all time is not like an interesting pick, but it's the original Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I still
I
need to
was
watch
gonna
all of
say
that.
Humutsu Umaru-chan.
Warts and all. Chris, I feel like for you, Evangelion is a similar situation to like Full Metal Alchemist, where if you watch the movies first, it's going to be really hard to go back to.
I don't. The good news is I remember almost nothing about them.
Good. It's when I saw how much the movies were deviating, I was upset to say the least.
A lot of people were. That's why I stopped watching them because everybody's like, "Don't watch this shit."
I was just
I know some people kind of came around on it, around like 3.33 because they were like the first two people were like, "Holy shit!" Like they're taking on a chunk of the show, and then by like 3.33, from what I understand, is people are like, "Oh, okay, they're going in a fucking completely different direction," and people started to come around on them. But everybody said you should watch the show, then watch the movie. I think the movies are okay now. Now that people have seen what they're doing with them, and it's just like everybody's like, watch the show, then watch the movies.
Yeah. So the first two movies generally follow the show pretty closely. The third movie completely takes a frickin' 180 and goes a completely different direction. What I wanted, which I know isn't what everyone wants, I just wanted a prettier version of the show we had. But they're going so different. But anyway.
I know Evangelion, I know a lot of people say sometimes it's hard to sit through and watch all of it, but
oh yeah. Yeah,
but I sat through fucking I think I watched 3 seasons of fucking Aquarion. Don't ask me why, but that just ended up on my list on fucking Funimation. So I watched 3 seasons. No, I watched it on Netflix. fucking like Battle Engine Aquarion or something. I don't fucking remember what that show was called. It fucking sucked. And I watched 3 different versions of it.
Yeah. Well, luckily,
because they kept making it.
Yeah. So Evangelion, I feel from everything over the years.
Oh, Ross.
Evangelion's what?
Sorry, Uranium just mentioned Robotech. Did you hear that all the Macross stuff is coming to the West?
I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, they settled that shit, that big dispute. So now all that stuff is gonna like get dubbed and brought over. I'm real excited.
I didn't want to bring my stack of Ranma 1/2 like Blu-rays over, but here's 2 of the essentials. These are 2 essentials.
Oh yeah, yep. You got both of
Your
those.
Name and Evangelion Blu-rays.
Yep.
All right, you want some? I got some Gundam Seed Destiny. I got some fucking Gundam Seed here. I got some fucking Gundam 00. You want Gundam 00? I got 2 seasons right here. I got some fucking. What the fuck is this? What the fuck are you? Jeez. Oh, Darker Than Black. Watch Darker Than Black. You need to still watch Darker Than Black.
I do.
Oh, this is 1.11 and 2.22.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh man, this is the High School of the Dead is not a very good show, but it's also a very good show.
Yeah.
I mean, High School of the Dead is very etchy, but
it's good.
It's never coming back
suck?
because
this
the
show.
animator, I mean, the author passed away. But
Kaze no Stigma. It can kiss my ass. You know what's really good? Claymore. If you want some fucking gritty shit, fucking Claymore. Oh my god, that shit is gory. I love Shuffle. Rosario Vampire is a funny and charming show, but not one I would recommend for you. I have the Bayonetta movie. The fuck? Don't worry, the Iron Giant on DVD is in my anime.
Yep.
But Gundam Wing Endless Waltz is also here. Fucking Brotherhood. Sekirei. Don't watch that. Oh my god! Full Metal Panic.
Watch the
Full Metal Panic is funny.
Here in the Twitch chat, I just put a link to my anime list, completed anime that I've seen with my ratings, so you can see kind of what I like and what I don't.
Full Metal Panic.
Fooly Cooley is a must-watch. I agree. Uranium. Uranium is a man of culture. I fuck with Uranium.
Full Metal Panic Fumofu is one of the funniest animes I've ever watched. It's the middle season. The first 2
Gem
seasons
is gonna
are
be
like
so
a
mad
mix.
at us.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Fumofu.
Gem is gonna be so mad at us.
Trust me, Ross. Fumofu is a funny word. It means the whole show is funny.
Good.
Heroic Age is just decent.
Uranium, do not bring up Soul Eater. That show.
Oh god, that's so boring.
That show for me had so much potential with the whole, the whole school. They're like people are weapons, and there's the school environment, and then it just turns into like super generic shonen anime where literally the last episode is just like, I will beat the big bad with the power of like love or friendship. I was so upset.
If you want
such a waste of talented voice,
but refined, you should watch Fire Force.
Fire Force? Okay.
Yes, it's from the same like animator, like the same artist, but it has a better story because it didn't get like.
It's a good show.
Complete control over it.
I bought all 3 seasons of this show. I'm trying to what the fuck is this called again? Shakugan no Shana. It is not a funny show. It is kind of like more of like a Full Metal Alchemist. I really like this show.
Mm-hmm.
It is very good. Highly recommend. Chaos Head was boring. Oh god, Fafner. Fuck that show. Fafner is boring as shit.
I've heard good things about Clanad, which I know is a slice of life.
I still gotta watch Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon's really good. I like Black Lagoon a lot.
Service by not have seen.
Don't watch Heaven's Lost Prophecy. Andrew got me into that one.
Doing a disservice by not seeing Clanad or Black Lagoon.
Video games.
No, man.
We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
Here's the real shit. Gundam Wing,
if
baby,
we don't
right
start talking about video games now, we're not gonna stop before 10 p.m. And I would like to get the rest of my braids pulled out.
We're good. Romeo and Juliet as a quality anime.
Yeah. Okay. So
if I turn my head around, you'll see that I still have braids back here.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up anime talk. But again, Uranium, Russell, anyone else in chat, tweet at me with recommendations. I put my anime list there so you can see my likes and dislikes and make recommendations off of that. Going for not super long running series, uh, and go from there. Uh, but I can transition. I can transition from anime into video games.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
NieR Replicant's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm not sure how much more you've played of it, Chris.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I failed.
So, NieR Replicant, I'm 30 hours in. I'm just about to ending B. I'm almost to ending B. It's interesting. That is a 2010 game in a lot of ways. The side quests in that game are largely irrelevant and fetch quests that you don't need to worry about doing. The world design is sectioned off into these kind of pretty small areas. There's some of the quests have you going back and forth across different biomes just over and over, especially one of the later game quests, which is really annoying. But for me, they updated the combat to be more like Automata.
Do we have a definitive pronunciation of that?
I feel like it's Automata because it's like automaton. It's not automaton.
Yeah, but I just like the way automata sounds.
Yeah, it
sounds exotic.
Automata. Sure.
It's fancy.
But yeah, so I think Toy Logic was the
Thank you.
Toy Logic was the developer for Replicant, the Replicant version update that Yoko Taro calls it. So the combat feels more like Automata. I never played the original NieR back in the day, so I can only speak to people I follow who played it back in the day to kind of compare. But I feel like, for me, I find the combat more satisfying than Automata because I feel like the weapons feel like they have more impact. Whereas Automata, like as 2B, like the swords are flying around everywhere, but it just kind of feels a little kind of like floaty a little bit. And that comes down to just like animations, I think. I think animations make all the difference in a lot of ways. So I really like the combat, and I think Automata, for me, I really liked playthrough A of Replicant more than I liked playthrough A of Automata. I think with Automata, I think the story is a lot more kind of plot based, where Replicant is way more character based, and it's like there's the trio in Automata of 9S, 2B, and A2, and it's like I like those characters all in varying degrees, except I really don't like 9S that much. I just find him incredibly annoying almost the entire time.
You're right.
Whereas in Replicant, you have the protagonist, who's his own fully fleshed out character. Like, you can name him whatever you want, but like he's a defined character. Then you have Kaine, and then you have a third, who I won't say, but it's on like I think the Steam like cover art image, and it's just like those characters, in my opinion, are so much better than any characters that are in Automata, and like the bond between the three of them.
Well, I mean, remember too, like I think Yoko Taro had a much bigger hand in a lot of like. I think Yoko Taro had a lot of hand in like the broader strokes of Automata. But like I think like a lot of the character stuff might have fallen a little more to Platinum, and maybe they didn't do that development as much. I think like, they did enough to kind of get to where he wanted to be, but I know like Replicant is like a full on Yoko Taro jam.
Yeah, I thought
that's just purely speculation on my part. Yeah. I know he was heavily involved in Automata, but like I wonder how much of that is like, like Platinum maybe, did some of that on their own maybe or something.
Yeah, from my understanding, Platinum was really just focused on combat. Like, if Yoko Taro is directing a game, it's going to be Yoko Taro game. Like, like Drakengard 2 was not directed by Yoko Taro, so it's not canon, and it's like you can tell when he's a director of a game. And I feel like he hits a lot of those notes in Automata, where it's like this larger kind of mystery behind these characters in the world and everything, especially against like 10,000 years ahead of Replicant. But it just feels like Automata's a more plot-focused game, and Replicant's more character-focused game, and I think that goes a long way, because just the friendship between the characters feels so good. And even like at the very start of playthrough B, like immediate, I don't think you ever play as a different character for any other playthroughs in Replicant like you did in Automata, but you get a lot of backstory about your companions like right off the bat in playthrough B, to the point where like a lot of the lore is kind of like the Lost Odyssey, like 1,000-year stories or whatever. Like there's a lot of that in playthrough B so far, and they're really good. And to just kind of build on that, you have the music dynamically changing while you're reading, depending on what the event is going on, and the music is incredible in that game. And yeah, it's like I said, I'm a little over 30 hours in. I'm almost at the end of playthrough B, which at the end of playthrough B, I'll get the last weapon, which the only requirements for endings in the games, or in Replicant, for C, D, and E is that you have all of the weapons in the game, which isn't too bad. One of the quests can be a little grindy, but I'm super, super excited. And I've heard from multiple people who I know are big NieR fans that the new ending that they added, ending E, is like a mind-blowing game changer, and just like a love letter to the fans of the series. And
can this be game of the year?
I've been
it counts,
about
right?
that nonstop. So I don't
it counts.
know.
It counts. Let's just
Does
count
it count?
Ross,
Because it's
Ross, just nod your head and say yes, it counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Nod your head, then it counts. Then it counts,
Sure.
and we're good. Start adding it to the list, because Ross, it counts. Yeah. Guess what? Okay. Whose site is it, Ross? Whose site is it? We pay the bills. We make the rules. It counts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody Chris, it wasn't even in the West. This game is completely new here. Of course it counts.
It's technically a Replicant, which we never got. You're right.
You're right. Boom. You're welcome. Did you ever find out? Have you ever found out what the numbers actually mean?
It's like the square root.
It's the square root of 1.5.
Yeah. Which is like.
So it was like a half sequel. Hold on, 1.5. Boom.
There it is.
That's the numbers. It's the numbers that make the Replicant. They round the 3.9 up to a 4.
Yeah.
But that's the numbers that make the Replicant.
Yeah,
because it was supposed to be like a half sequel.
Right, and like Taro calls it like a version update, where it's not a remaster, but it's not a remake. It's like
exactly. That's why it's half a half, or like a square of He's crazy.
Me going hyperdrive with my mind being blown. Kind of hurt.
Nat
was like, "That's the square root, son of a bitch."
But yeah, Chris, I really do want you to play more of it.
No, listen. Let me be perfectly clear.
Yeah,
it's not a question of if.
Okay,
I'm finishing that game. Listen.
Yeah.
You're talking to the guy who fought for NieR Automata in the Jennies, okay?
I was going to say.
Have no doubt, my friend, this game is getting finished. All the endings.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm committed. It's happening. Yeah. It's already done. It's just not done yet.
You know what? I just thought of an even funnier way. If I beat Kingdom Hearts 3 before you beat that,
you want to race?
Really like
it. Yeah, it's like
that'd be funny. That's the clause. It can't win Game of the Year unless you beat it before I beat Kingdom Hearts 3.
And if you beat Kingdom Hearts 3 first, Kingdom Hearts 3 is automatically the HalfGen 2021 Game of the Year. Yeah,
I quit.
How that works.
I quit. This is my last show, everybody.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like the game already for me is super special, and like in a lot of ways I recognize. I mean, of course, Automata is going to be like the more refined game. It came out 7 years later. Like, but
I don't notice all that much, to be honest, when I'm
yeah,
playing it.
Toy Logic did a really good job.
Much.
Yeah, Toy Logic did a really good job of kind of really blending the gameplay over.
At the very least, it feels the way I remember Automata feeling. So like maybe I go back to Automata after this and I'm like, whoa, this is like way better. But
yeah,
I mean, that, like, Automata wasn't like that special to begin with, you know? It was fine.
Yeah. But like the
gameplay.
The new, like, and this was announced like in the pre-release, like there's a new basically section of the story, like the Little Mermaid section of the story, which has an entirely new boss fight, and it's great, and that section of the game is awesome.
Do you fight a crab singing about Under the Sea?
Under the Sea.
Da-da-da-da.
Under the Sea.
DMCA. And they added the recycled vessel DLC from the original games as well, where basically it's this kind of dreamscape where you kind of go through combat gauntlets, but you played as the version of NieR that wasn't native to your game. So like in the West, you played as Kid NieR in those sections, and the original Replicant, you played as Papa NieR in those segments. And that's how playing through those is how you get one of the weapons you need to get the endings, and they're fun.
Oh,
I'm confused.
Yep. Don't worry.
There's
about
two
it.
NieRs. One is young, one is old. One is the father, and one is not.
Yep. So
what part don't you understand? I'm kidding.
It's a show about Boruto's father's son.
It's everything's made up, and the points don't matter.
Yeah. Originally in 2010, when the original NieR was released, they released.
I caught it now. It's just I didn't catch it at first. You said Papa NieR. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So there was NieR Gestalt, which had the older protagonist who was the father, which we got in the West because Japan didn't think Japan thought that was the protagonist that us Westerners would enjoy more than the anime boy. Mm-hmm. And then Japan got Replicant, which is the version.
They got the anime boy.
They got the anime boy, who all I'll say about the anime boy is that I think his costume looks real dumb because it kind of looks like 9S with the stupid shorts. But at some point in the game, there's a costume rework, and he becomes one of my favorite designed characters in recent memory. I think he looks super badass.
I have a question for you, Ross.
Yes, please ask me questions.
Has this... I feel like this is a tricky question for you, because obviously this is a very, like, we're apples to oranges here. Okay. Has playing this and knowing you're enjoying it and having the knowledge of like NieR Automata, is this driving you to want to play Gestalt? It
is, yeah.
Okay.
Even with how clunky I know that game is, just from watching gameplay and just watching retrospectives on YouTube, it's driving me to want to try it.
Because I know, wasn't there like a PS3 version too that like had bonus content and stuff?
Yes.
Because I know it was originally a 360 game, then they brought it to PS3, I thought, with like bonus content.
That might have been the Dream DLC.
I think
I'm
NieR
gonna
is backwards compatible, actually.
What was that, Matt?
I think NieR is one of the backwards compatible games on Xbox though as well.
That would be great.
Because now you could get the disc and just put it in and play.
The NieR and Drakengard games are going up in price currently. So
well, I got good news. You can get Drakengard 3 for like $18 right now on Amazon.
Yeah, I've watched some story summaries of Drakengard, and like, I don't think those games are for me.
Ross, do I have a deal for you?
Yeah.
Drakengard 3 Collector's Edition.
Okay.
All right. Premium packaging featuring the Japanese product art. A prequel novella.
Yep.
160 pages. Soundtrack sampler disc. Double-sided collectible poster. And various DLCs. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All of this can be yours for a price that's no longer... Okay, hold on. All buying options. For $1,119.99.
Perfect. After watching footage of that game and seeing the story of that game, that's about $2,000 too much.
Drakengard 2 is $180.
Not canon.
Yeah,
Tara not involved.
Wait, why is this published by Square Enix and Ubisoft?
Don't worry about it.
The
Early 2000s were a weird time.
I wonder if Russell's back because he announced his departure but didn't announce his return. I'm kind of hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. The game's hitting me on like the more emotional side earlier than it did in Automata. Like I'm feeling about Replicant, I think the way that you felt about Automata, Chris, which is exciting for me.
Automata kind of grabbed a hold of me pretty early,
Yeah.
like in a way I wasn't expecting. And like that was the thing, is like Automata was weird because I played ending A and I left it. And it wasn't until like I finally went back when people were like, yo, you got to see these endings. And it was kind of like through ending B that I was like, okay, I'm getting it. And then once C started, I was just hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just like, but I liked it enough, you know, and it was just, I liked ending A. And that was the thing, is like, I was satisfied and I was like, okay, no, this is cool. And then I was like, cool. So I finished it. And then, you know, everybody's like, play B, like you just got to get through B and then it's a totally different game. And I was like, okay. I played B and I was like, yeah, no, this is good, you know, this is fine. And then like as it kept going, I was like, okay, like, you know, when you start hacking the bosses and stuff, and it's like, oh, this is kind of fucked up.
yeah, and you, I'm already getting a lot of that on playthrough B and Replicant, and I think that's why I'm so curious to go back to Automata at some point, because looking back on Automata and playing Replicant now, like I'm seeing so many Easter eggs in Automata from Replicant.
That fucking library, man.
Yep.
That door.
Yeah, the stupid door.
The stupid door
comes into play in the story at some point as well.
It has to.
Yeah, it does.
It always does. There's always a door. There's always a small staircase in front of the door. Every NieR game, there's a door and a small staircase in front of it.
But yeah, seeing all the Easter eggs, and also like I think going into Automata, I think I was a little peeved with the fact that everyone was like, you have to play the game multiple times to get the story. And I think initially I was like, it should be able to tell the whole story on the first playthrough. But like endings in NieR aren't endings.
Right.
They're like they're more like chapters.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's why I think people explain it wrong when they're like, you have to beat the game multiple times. It's like, no, that's not it. You just haven't beaten the game yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for
it's not done.
Yeah. For Replicant, for playthrough B, you don't play the first half of the game again. You start at the second half of the game. And then C apparently is very short, and then D, and then E. But like, yeah, I feel like if people describe them more as chapters rather than endings, even though they're called endings in the game, I think that put me in a specific mindset going into Automata originally that I don't think I would have again when I replay it. But yeah, so far, Replicant is my personal game of the year so far, like hands down. As much as I love like Loop Hero and like MLB's Show, it's like the characters and the music and the story in that game are hitting me like on a completely different level, and I'm still not even through ending B yet. I think the voice acting is phenomenal across the board, especially with the main characters. Laura Bailey being a standout as always, with Kaine, who is initially comes off as like pervy Japan character, and like I think in some ways still remains that way, but in playthrough B you get a lot more of her backstory, and like some of the choices she makes are become way more kind of, you get a lot more context for kind of why she is the way she is. And like, and even the protagonist, who I didn't like a ton, goes through this kind of journey of maturity that I also really like. Replicant is, for years and years I've been meaning to go back and play the original NieR, just because of how highly it's touted in a lot of like the like RPG YouTuber scene, especially like retro RPG YouTubers, or even just general specifically JRPG YouTubers. Always talk super highly, always saying combat's clunky, story's one of the best things ever, and the music is the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's the thing I always hear about it is like, yo, like the game sucks to play, but everything around it is like amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's slept on.
And they fixed it. And they fixed the play part, which is great.
You know what game is like that? No, everything, it's the exact opposite, actually. Everything around it is completely shit, but the gameplay is so exceptional. Yeah. Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, I
was worried he was going to say Destiny. I was going to be like, you son of a bitch.
No. See, here's the problem, is I hate everything about Destiny.
Yeah.
It always shoots well.
What was I going to say?
But yeah, I have heard that about Dragon's Dogma, though. That like
Dragon's Dogma is such a fucking good game that was covered in shit.
It was part of one of those memes. You know, they had those memes where they were like showing like they had like the little bars, and it was like, oh, this percent, and then this percentage kind of thing. And they had one of those of that, and it was just like, I don't get it. I hate this. Wait a second. This is the best thing ever. Oh my god. Yeah, like that's Dragon's Dogma.
So here's the thing is, with Dragon's Dogma, and I don't want to take this because we get off of Dragon's Dogma really quick, is Dragon's Dogma is how people think Dark Souls is. Where Dark Souls, people think it's hard until you figure out what's happening, and then you realize it's a systematic way to approach each enemy, and once you figure it out, you're having a good time. Dragon's Dogma is pain all the way through, but when you notice the little things about the game, you're like, holy shit, this has been made with lots of love and hate to annoy me, because, you know, they want you to trek across the map, you know, if you didn't put a crystal to teleport in a major location.
That's fair. Chris, one of the biggest changes to Replicant that you've already been taking very good advantage of, as have I, is that in the original NieR, you could not attack or move and use magic at the same time. You had to be like stationary while you're using magic, and you couldn't.
It's fucking easy mode. That book is like a fucking cheat code. Just big enemy boss on the field. Let me just run in circles and hold fucking R1. Wow, he's dead? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if I had to stay stationary, I still would have kicked his ass. I would have won. It would have taken longer, but I would have done it.
That's all I'll say about Replicant. I will say gameplay variety does ratchet up in the second half of the story. You get access to more weapon types.
Is there a hacking mini game with a retro version of all the music? Because like I need that.
Not that I'm aware of. Damn. Remember, this is like 10,000 years before Automata.
When are they going to release the retro soundtrack for NieR Automata?
There's some kind of cool like techno remixes of tracks in those Dream World
Russell's
DLCs.
back, by the way.
Yeah, he said that. He said that as soon as I said. Okay. I don't know if he heard what I said, but
that's all I'll say. I've been rambling too long about NieR.
You're good. So. I do it all the time.
So yeah, that's literally. I was out of town over the weekend, so I didn't have a chance to play a ton. So that's
sometimes the worst though, because like if you're like stuck, like not stuck on it in like a bad way, but like if you're like hooked on that game.
Oh yeah,
and it's like I just like look forward to getting home so I can play it, and like the hardest part is like when you're away and you can't. It's all you're thinking about is like, oh my god, this fucking game. Yeah,
that was all weekend. I literally like over and over watched like NieR lore videos about like Automata and Drakengard, and I spent most of the weekend when I wasn't spending time with my family just rewatching that, just trying to stay in that universe.
You need to give like My Name Is Baif like $2,000 and just be like, can you just lore all the Drakengard and NieR games? Just like another 5-hour video, like when he did the lore so far before Shadowkeep for Destiny. Just do one of those for like Drakengard / NieR. Yep. Hello, my name is Baif.
I'd support that Patreon.
Yeah, Ross is just going to jump in the $2,000 tier. He's just going to be like, make my dreams come true. The Drakengard series dates back to the early 2000s.
Drakengard series is weird, man. Going back in that lore, especially that first game, super weird. And then NieR Reincarnation is coming out in the West this year.
Signed up for that.
Yeah, me too. It's like the gacha component's not super great, but
wait, are you in or?
No,
Have you
no,
played? Okay.
no.
I was
But
gonna say.
I've watched some like people who speak Japanese play the Japanese version, and it's like the gotcha mechanic is what it is. But I can't help but say like it would be kind of cool to have like 9S and Kaine fighting side by side. So like, I'm a sucker. Sue me.
I'll file the paperwork tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anything for you, bud.
Can I tell a story?
Sure.
So, what was it? This weekend, right? Or was it yesterday? I think it was Sunday, right? I get up. I roll out of bed. I'm like, man, look at my braids. They're looking nice. And this is before I realized I should take them out and wash my hair, right? Like I'm halfway through doing right now. And I sit at my computer and I boot it up, and guess what I saw?
What did you saw?
My pal, Chris, bought me Loop Hero.
Hey.
I did do
bought
that.
it for me. He bought it for me.
I did do that.
I came and it was sitting there, and I was like, I guess I know what I'm playing. I was trying to get GTA San Andreas to like run with all the mods I installed. A lot of them work and some of them don't, and I don't know why, but you know what? I think I'm gonna give up on it. That $15 could go down the drain.
Thank you, Ross.
Yep.
But Loop Hero, I got it, and I did some runs.
Hey,
I did some loops.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't die at all, but I did some loops.
Perfect.
And I fought some vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I beat his ass with a wet flip flop. I fought some ghosts and spiders and stuff. Seen some lizard people in a village. Like, who'd invited them? They just plopped land. They're settling my land. They're gentrifying. This is crazy. I felt kind of betrayed by the vampire because I was equipping like vampirism equipment, and then they gave me the card, and I was like, I guess they're good if I can place the thing. And he started beefing with me. I was like, you bitch.
You bitch.
So yeah, that was my experience with Loop Hero. And
you liking it?
It's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Nice.
I don't know what I expected. I think my favorite parts are the not loop parts, like, you know, in the city talking to people. I think the art style is really cool, and I really like the art style. Like outside of, you know, the pixelated, you know, little
like the character portraits and stuff.
Yeah, the character portraits are great. Everything else, take hit or miss. But I think the character portraits are really cool and charming, and I like those stuff. But yeah, Loop Hero's cool. Nice. I don't think I've gotten deep enough into it to, you know, have a finite opinion of it. But you know, I think it's fun, and I've been enjoying.
You'll get there though.
But that's my experience with Loop Hero. I've played some other games this week. If you guys want to hear about that,
always.
I guess what I played this week, guys.
Kingdom Hearts.
Not Kingdom Hearts. Oh, see, one of us is right here.
I think you'd be even more surprised at the next game I'm going to say.
Destiny.
Nope.
Cyberpunk.
Nope. I boot Cyberpunk up once a week, and I look at it and I turn it off.
It's fair.
I don't know. I was just about to say PUBG. God damn it!
PUBG, and that game is filled with cheaters and people who've been playing that game for too long. So I turned it off, and then I played another surprising game.
Warzone.
No, that's not that surprising.
Apex Legends.
No, never.
Valorant.
He doesn't play
I want to get into
shooters
Valorant.
I like.
Okay. What'd you play?
I played Fall Guys.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
And realized there's a bunch of new fucking levels and shit, and it's kind of cool. And
nice.
Yeah, didn't win any, but it was fun. Played with some friends. That was all yesterday. Not yesterday, Monday. Yesterday was Divinity Day.
Does Fall Guys still feel like populated? Like, does that game still feel like, yo, you can just get right into a match and play?
Take a little bit longer, but there's still a lot of people playing. When we first started playing, it took a little longer to load a match, but every other one we were ending match like within 3 minutes. So 3 minutes is, I feel like, a bit of a wait time, but considering there's like how many 60 people in a match, right?
Takes a while to get them all together.
I thought it was 40.
Yeah, I think it's 60.
Yeah, you would know better than I do.
I wouldn't. I wasn't paying attention. I just know there's a lot of people dying, perishing, jelly beans getting squished. Yep, exactly. But yeah, so I played some Fall Guys. That was fun, way more fun than it had any right to be. Just running around, doing some things. I got betrayed by my friend. We were doing the chase the tail game. He stole my tail and I got eliminated. And I was like, you bitch. I felt betrayed. I felt so betrayed. I maybe felt the most betrayed I've ever felt in a video game at that one point. Because I ran to him because I was like, oh, that's my friend. He's not going to take this from me. You know what I mean? Because I was getting cornered and nobody took my tail the whole match. And he took my tail. And I was like, fuck.
And nobody realizes you're walking towards that guy, and everybody else trying to chase you is like, "What are you, stupid?"
Yeah,
because you just walked right into the guy, and it's just like, I'm not stupid. I guess I am.
Friend. Yeah,
no,
I was like,
I guess I am because I thought he was my friend.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Then I played some more Slay the Spire on iPhone. It's the greatest time sync.
You cleared a run in that, right? On your phone?
Yeah.
I think you tweeted about it.
I cleared a bunch on PC, but on phone.
No, but on phone,
this was the first time I cleared a run.
Which class did you clear with on the phone?
What you call it? The poison guy. That's my favorite character, even on PC.
Yeah.
The robot, I feel like he's really powerful. Like, he might be the best character in the game, but his synergies are like I feel like there's a hard way. I feel like doubling down on a path with him is much harder than the first two characters. Like the poison class, I feel like there's two branches you could go. You could go like
poison or Shiv.
Yeah, poison or Shiv. You could go and then, or not even Shiv, but low attacks, or you could go poison, or you could go big, grandiose attacks. I feel like they're very clear defined paths. You know what I mean? Because even if you I always take the vampire cult thing and get the HP.
Oh yeah.
Especially if I
never do that one.
That's so powerful, especially because I run my health in the ground. I play with 25 HP at all times because I sacrifice everything for all the. I just try to get as much trinkets as possible. I'm thinking Isaac and not. I know they're called something else, but I get as much of those.
Relics, I think.
Relics, yeah. There we go, relics.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Slay the Spire is a great game, and then we played some Divinity, and I'll save that for when Chris talks. But yeah,
you can talk about Divinity.
I want to talk about it together, so I'm gonna let you get it through, and then we can bring it home with Divinity.
Okay. So my week was kind of light on games. I actually didn't play a ton this week. I did the time I had. I don't know. It was a very tiring week, so I spent a lot of time sleeping. I did play Destiny. Season of the Chosen ended. Season of the Splicer has begun, and that was really cool. Yes. So the splicers are the fallen who can commune with machines. So they just they take care of the servitors and stuff like that. They can talk to them clearly. They understand the little machine noises and stuff.
And they're drug addicts to Adam, and they run around Rapture, and it's a BioShock crossover.
And it's the 1-2 punch, tunk, and that's how you do it,
Yeah, they added a wrench.
Hit him with
Destiny.
The 1-2 punch.
I'm back. If they added a wrench into Destiny, I'm in.
I'll see what I can do. But yeah. So I was playing that, and there's this. It involves the splicer we're working with is Mithrax, who Ross, you might actually remember. There when we were doing the Rat King quest. There was this room we went into on Titan that had a Hive Knight fighting a fallen captain, and you could choose not to kill the captain.
Oh,
and he would just leave. That's Mithrax.
Oh, I miss Titan.
Yeah. Everybody does, especially the Titans. But yeah, so Mithrax was there, and then Mithrax was also there for the Outbreak mission. He was also the one who helped us go and get Outbreak. So Mithrax has a history working with the Guardians. So he's trying to get a bunch of evacuees off of Europa, because he's with the House of Light, so they still believe in the Traveler. And he's trying to help these people.
Okay, so that's why he's helping the Guardians, because they're the active.
Because they're chosen by the Traveler, and he's okay, well, the Traveler chose them for a reason, so we have to trust in the Great Machine. That's what they call it, the Great Machine. There's this opening cutscene where they're running from the Vex, the Fallen, and they're hiding in a cave, and they got a bandolier of babies. little just baby fallen, and they're adorable.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the obvious title is obvious when you say it like that. Bandolier of Babies is probably
Bandolier.
Yeah, we don't need to look at the other titles.
If you look at a picture, I mean, you see it. But yeah, so they're just sitting there.
Pull up,
and
Webster. Give me the definition of bandolier.
That's
what I want to know.
It's the thing Chewbacca wears across his chest.
Okay.
Bandolier holds all the ammo.
Yeah, but yeah, so they got the baby bandolier, and they're just chilling. They're like, "How do we know we can trust the Guardian?"
Why'd you remix the title, Baby Bandolier?
No.
If I ever get around to making that game, there's gonna be an item called Baby Bandolier. Just
have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire.
With the bandolier.
Buy me a baby and a baby bandolier.
But anyway, so they're like, "How can we trust the Guardian? How do you know we can trust the Guardian?" He's just like, "I don't. Wait here." And he goes out and he meets you. He's like, "I can get you into the Vex network." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." He opens this fucking hole. I'm in Tron now. And so I'm just walking in the Vex network. Like, I'm in there. It's all like multicolor and digitized and shit. And he's just like, "Yeah, like you're fucking moving around like crazy. Like nobody else can do that. That's nuts." And like, I'm walking around shooting Vex and stuff. And like, it was cool. It was all scripted, but it was cool because he's like, "All right, I'm going to get you out of here." And then all of a sudden this firewall shows up and starts rolling in. He's like, "You've got to run." And so like you're running and the Vex are messing with the network. So like you're trying to jump and survive. And yeah, they booted up Norton and they were just like, Avast, they're installing antivirus as I'm going.
That's why you won.
So they're just installing all this antivirus. And I'm like jumping through and I get to the end and it's just like they took away the gate and he's just like, "I'll find you another way out." And like just four fucking walls. Four walls just closing in. All these Vex are spawning in. I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll take you all on." And he just pulls me out. And I was like, that was cool as shit.
And the ability to kind of secure yourself like that. This podcast is brought to you by NordVPN, the number one VPN service in the world. Secure.
You can get 8 years for like 72 cents.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
NordVPN.
I have NordVPN. Do you?
Nat has a VPN.
I have Nord.
I think I have.
I don't have a VPN. Maybe I should get one though.
I do have Nord. I have Nord as well.
Hey.
So
you know how I got Nord? With code HalfGen.
It's now you can get 5% off of your subscription by using the code Bandolier Babies.
Yeah,
and we get a
baby bandolier.
So you get the awesome VPN, and you get to support your favorite podcast,
and you get to type the phrase "baby bandolier."
Yeah,
it's a win-win-win.
Figure out spelling that one.
Apparently, there's 2 ways to spell bandolier that are correct, which is annoying.
Wait, what?
Bandolier or Lier. Apparently, they're both correct.
Is the only one I am aware.
That's the only one.
Sidebar. Yeah. One of those gives us a kickback. One of those doesn't. We know. Who don't know? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know English anymore.
I think we've established that nobody knows what's going on anymore. Oh God! For once, Destiny has brought this podcast something truly wonderful. But yeah, no, dude, God. Like you have no idea though. Like they showed it in the cutscene, and like the Fallen wearing the baby, and everybody started making fan art of the baby Fallen and stuff. Like fan art, people are like, "Sell plushies, dude." It took them like 3 days. They're like, "We're working on it," and they showed us a picture. They were like, "We got plushies coming, guys. Just hang on."
Oh God!
So I'm gonna buy a little fucking plush, a baby little Fallen.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Because you can turn off you can make the lights glow in the eyes glow in the dark and shit. Like it's so cool. I have to buy it.
Oh God,
no, Chris. If you buy it without the bandolier, we're no longer friends.
I'm gonna find a baby bandolier. I'm gonna go on Amazon and type in baby bandolier and just see what comes up. You know,
and make sure you get kickback to halfgen.com.
I gotta buy like four of them, so I can like tuck them into my little pockets and just be like, "Oh, reload."
Just don't let Cuba Gooding Jr. catch you.
Ross is just trying to cope.
No,
that was a bar. That was a bar.
You have to wear that while wearing the Thanos gauntlet, while having the dubstep gun, while having the Minecraft sword, while having
the helmet. I'm gonna build a monster.
Yes.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my baby bandolier, baby. I can take you to my favorite place on the Citadel. You'll like it a lot.
You gotta get both Mass Effect like equips.
I gotta get like the.
You have both of them, right?
I got the fucking sword art sword too back the fucking elucidator back there. I can rock that.
Equip that to the back of your bandolier.
Put that there.
Yep,
You know? I gotta wear the dual disc too.
Oh god. This monstrosity has to happen.
This monstrosity brought to you by HalfGen.com.
Yep, use code HalfGen on HalfGen.com.
How do you protect yourself?
Watch HalfGen.
How do you protect yourself from monstrosities? You get NordVPN.
You become the monstrosity. Become everything you fear, and then it fears you.
You know what else fears you? Raid Shadow Legends.
Get 23 million silver coins worth absolutely nothing now.
Guys, let's talk about
using code Bandolier.
Let's talk about the real monster in the room, though. That bush you have down there. And let me tell you, Manscaped can take care of it for you.
Totally forgot where that was going for a second.
Manscaped can come in there with their baby Bandolier razor and just take care of that shit. They will clear the fucking Amazon for you.
It's crazy because when you clear it, you might realize, it's not performing as it used to. And you can change that with Blue Chew.
Tell me more. And then I can fix this with some hymns.
There we go.
Code
and then there's the weirdest one. I'm breaking the fourth wall here. There's that weird ad. I don't know what it's called, but they're trying to sell you bacteria pills that help you grow your nuts. And that's the weirdest thing in the world to me. I don't know if you guys seen that YouTube commercial.
No, it's not weird, but I'll tell you what. I bought a Ridge wallet like a couple months ago because
I didn't know where that was going. I thought you were gonna say
just on the topic of
the
sponsored
nut
by
pills.
Use the baby Bandolier on Ridge, but no. So I bought a Ridge wallet, and so now I'm on their email list for everything. And they sent me this stupid pen, and it was $75, and it was a bolt action pen.
Okay, pull it out, whip it out.
I'll whip it out in a couple days when it arrives.
You need to flip around the bolt action pen. Just keep it away from your face.
Oh, God.
I bought the bolt action pen. It was too stupid not to.
This has been the weirdest podcast we've ever had. And that's saying something because this was Anigen Part 2 meets now ad space.
Oh, God.
I don't know what's happening.
But it's got like a real, it's literally got the bolt action thing. So
Russell, where's the meme?
And you just pop it out and pull it back, and then you push it and lock it back in. Like I'm gonna snipe some paperwork.
Yeah, I'm about to pull Gem in here. Just finish Anigen. Let's finish it.
Oh God! But no.
This has been the most ripe session for Russell to make memes from. I swear to God.
He's probably overwhelmed right now.
I'm sure.
But real quick, before we get too off topic with Destiny, I do just want to talk about one thing because this leads into the other game I was playing. So the coolest thing they did, Ross, you remember Scourge of the Past? I ran you through that raid. Remember with the big tall robot at the end, the fucking Metal Gear Rex? It was on Earth.
Yeah.
It was the city full of Fallen, and then at the end we fought the giant robot.
Scourge of the Past. If I see pictures, I'll remember. Oh, yes, I remember this.
So,
yes.
Dude, that final boss area, fucking Ikora is talking to Mithrax after, and he's like, I've got to protect my people. She's like, let's not fucking beat around the bush, dude. Come to the city, we will protect you. And he's like, are you serious? And she is like, yes. Come to the city, you will be under the protection of the Vanguard. She fucking invites the House of Light into the city.
Wow.
Which is now under fucking never-ending darkness thanks to a Vex simulation. They're in the fucking Insurrection Prime boss room. The boss is dead, sitting there, and I teabagged it because he's a punk bitch. But the boss is there, dead, just sitting there on the ground, and you can walk up to it, and the daughter of Mithrax will be like, yeah, this house made these robots and fucking ruined what it is to be a fucking Elixni. And she's just like, they suck. But so there's just these Fallen, just neutral Fallen chilling there. And they just live in the city now, in that one part of the city. And you can go around and send out your ghost. And she's got all these recordings of hey, so this is what fucking Fallen does. Here's what Ether actually does for us. They're it's not just a fucking, they explain, they just lore dump in this area. And they're just we don't just eat Ether. They're it's more of an aphrodisiac type thing. But they're no, they said all Fallen, all Elixni used to be the captains. And they're but they started starving people of Ether. And they're all the Elixni that you see that are small and weak are because they haven't been nourished with enough Ether.
Oh.
So like dregs and vandals and shit like that, they're just not fed enough ether.
But it's the same species, though.
Yeah, they're all Elixni, but they're just not given enough. And so they're talking about like, yeah, Mithrax doesn't take more ether than he should. He likes to share with the group. And they're like, we need to get an ether supply that we can like actually like grow our people again. And so like they're just talking, she's just explaining like the history of the Elixni. Hey, so this is why we still worship the Traveler. This symbol used to like warn us, like, you know, that we used to tell our children that this symbol like prevented guardians from attacking us in our sleep and stuff like that. And like they talked about like humans, they were like, now that we've seen you kind of like having small talk and stuff like that, we're not afraid of you. We realize you're just scared. And it's just like, it's this really cool kind of like fucking bonding moment with the Elixni. And like, that's the thing is like, I don't call them the Fallen anymore. Yeah. At least these friendly ones, they're the Elixni. And like the other guys, they're Fallen because they're assholes and they're jerks and they work for like Aramis and stuff. But like, these are Elixni, you know, like they actually are like, hey, we just want to be safe. And like,
that's cool.
It's really fucking cool. And like, it's just in this fucking boss area and they cleaned up a bunch of shit. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I shit you not, I spent like 40 minutes just listening to recordings and just being like, this is the coolest thing they could have possibly done. And then my game crashed because Destiny has this problem where it's just like, hey, what if we just killed your display driver for no reason whatsoever? And so I have to restart my PC to keep playing Destiny. So what do I do instead of that? I decide Dark Messiah of Might and Magic.
Of course.
Don't ask me why that came up, but I was just like, hey, let's try this again. Hadn't played it in 2 years because I got stuck on a fucking game crashing bug. Loaded it up. Game still crashed. Fuck. I can restart my PC and play Destiny, or I can try and spend the next 40 minutes trying to fix this bug in Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. Guess which one I picked?
The latter.
I decided to fix this bug in Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. And so I Google searched this shit. I'm running in compatibility mode and shit like that. You know what it was? What? I had my graphic settings too high. I turned everything to low and it loaded the level instantly.
God.
So you want to know what's funny? Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. When did this come out? Hold on. I got to find this real quick.
97. That's my guess.
No, it was a 360 game.
Oh, that one. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
October 24th, 2006 is when Dark Messiah of Might and Magic came out. It supports ultra wide.
Of course it does.
NieR Replicant, on the other hand,
it's a Yoko Taro prank.
Does not.
It's all Yoko
in the ways that it should.
He wants you to see that aspect. That aspect is essential to the storytelling.
Yeah, so are those like fucking translucent black bars at the top and bottom during a cutscene that actually serve no purpose whatsoever.
Yep, they're still there regardless of what resolution
they simulate translucent eyelids.
No, they're nothing. They're nothing. They do nothing. They do nothing. They serve no value, no purpose. They do nothing. So anyway, I played almost.
I heard Chris talking himself through it. Like he said, they do nothing. And then she had to figure out, what the fuck is that talking about? A scene that just said it.
But anyway, so I'm going around and I'm playing Dark Messiah Might and Magic again. And the problem is I'm starting in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, boy, it's been 2 years since I played this. And I played it a lot when I was playing it 2 years ago because I wanted to do a piece for the site. And so it crashed a couple more times and I was like, what the fuck? So I finally got everything stable. I got everything working and I'm playing and boy, is that game hard. You know, cause like those orcs run up and they just like grab you by the throat. They look you in the eyes and they just throw you. And I'm just like, dude, could you not?
Wasn't like the thing with that game. Like it was super physics based. There was a lot of physics going on in that game.
Yes. It's made by Arcane. It was the game they made before Dishonored.
Dishonored, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was. It has so much Dishonored DNA in it, and it's a good game still. And like, I had a lot of fun, but like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like running around. And so I get to this part where I'm like, okay, I got to activate this elevator. So I activate the elevator. I'm like, okay, where the fuck is the elevator? I'm like, I know I saw it. And so like, I'm walking back to the beginning and I go to where I think the elevator is. And I'm like, I can't fucking find, there's nothing to like pull or whatever. And this is going somewhere, I promise. So I'm running back and forth between these two levels for like 25 minutes just walking through. And every time I hit a loading screen, I'm like, please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Finally, I look it up and it says pull the lever in the elevator. I'm like, what fucking lever? It's not in the elevator. It's in the doorway to the elevator. So like there's like this short like hallway, like 3 feet long, and it's like recessed into the fucking wall. So you have to pull it and then walk onto the elevator. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And so then I had to fight like some fucking orc boss and like kicked his ass. And then I tried to like, mess with the other orcs there. And I was like, yeah, here's your fucking leader now. And I threw him at them and they all got pissed and then they killed me. And then so I had to fight him again. So this time I just I put him like, he died near them. And I was like, yeah, look at that. Don't touch though. And I walked away.
Sheesh.
But Dark Messiah of Might and Magic is a good game.
Nice.
That was, I played more of that.
Bandolier in that game?
No, I played more of that than I played Destiny in the new season because it fucking crashed. It's bad when it's day 2 of the new season and I looked and I'm like level 2 on the pass and I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's really all I played. I played Destiny like the week before when I played. I just dabbled in that a little bit. I played the fucking Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. We did a video. Yeah. Tony and I did a video. That game is just that game. And it's really weird. Like there was a point in the video, I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but in the video, there's this character voiced by Jennifer Hale, all-star cast in this game. And she's just like trying to be like really seductive and stuff, but there's a lot of clipping problems. And, it doesn't all agree in 4K. And so there's a lot of clipping and I'm just like, is that her? No. And so she's just like constantly just hands all over herself. And I'm just like, what is this woman doing? Like, we're just having a casual conversation. And she's just like, yeah, so if you go down to the cellar and deal with this rat problem, like that would just be phenomenal. Thank you so
Russell,
much.
I know you're a meme guy, but you need to be a GIF guy. You need to be a GIF guy for right now. And then that GIF needs to be the only thing people see when they type in halfgen.com. Full screen that.
That's the new logo.
But that's what she's doing. And like me and Tony are looking at this and we're like, look, like I had to say at one point, I'm like, I want to be very clear. Like, I'm not making fun of like the character as much as I'm like making fun of like, what are they making her do? Like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, that game is not hard. I died
herself, obviously.
I died multiple times, and that game doesn't have like autosave and shit like that. It's got hard save points. So like you could die and it's like, okay, now I got to do it again. And then, I died again. So now I got to do it again. And that game is not easy. Like it's rough, but it's like, it's fun, but it's not like, I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy it because like, it's fun for me because I have the nostalgia for it. Mm-hmm. But like it's a $30 game and it's like just a 4K upres and everything else about it is that game.
Come out?
2001. So it's 20 years old and it plays fine. Honestly, I was shocked at how well it played.
Aside from the self-caressing.
Aside from, little miss bartender who's just like, yeah, sweetie, if you could, but like, she didn't even say it like, she had her moments where she was trying to be like seductive, but she'd just be like, yeah, so my mom's in the hospital and it's really weird. Like, she got something and the doctors can't tell me what it is. And she's just
so I'm
like,
just going to rub my boobs while telling you about my
like,
sickly
but that's
mother.
what it was. It's just like, oh, you need directions. If you go down the street and take a left at the third house on the right, like the mill is right there. You can't miss it.
Next time you talk about video games, you just have to do that the whole time.
Yeah, it's like if you want us to be invested in Destiny, that's the way.
In Destiny. And then like you talk to this one guy and he's got a shop and like he's just standing in the middle of the bar and he's just like, hey, you want to buy some shit? And I'm like, yeah, let me see what you have. And it transitions to the screen where he's like standing behind this fucking like desk, like it's like a little cutout in his blacksmith. I'm like, where do you have that? Do you just like have a hole in the wall? You just like knock it down, walk behind the wall, and he's just like, come see my excellent dwarven fucking shit. I've got real shit from Dwarven land. And I'm just like, listen, I'm a dwarf and I'll be the judge of that. But like, And he's just like sitting here. There's like this roaring fire behind him. And then like you leave the shop and it's all in the bar and he's just standing next to the table again. And I'm like, that's just such a weird transition. Like they don't just open like a shop screen. He's got this whole thing. He's like, I got the fucking best dwarven weapons from the best dwarven lands. Nobody's got dwarves like I do.
He has a fucking workshop in his pocket.
Yeah, I guess he just pulls it out like a little like fucking capsule corp. He's like, click, boom.
The same way
hey, welcome to my humble shop.
Colin opened up Tron for you. He opened up the shop.
Yeah, he must have been a splicer, and he's just like, you want to check out, and all he talks about is like his dwarven wares. And I'm like, dude, you're not a dwarf. You're like 6'8". Like, do you just want to be a dwarf? Like, come on, dude.
Hey, don't tell him what he can and can't be.
6'8". He's got like no hair up to here, but like long, like white hair, and he's just like, I'm not old. You're old.
He was adopted by a dwarf family when he was a child.
And then like we're so confused because they're talking about the sewers. Like they're like, yeah, it's by the sewers. So we're walking through this long, elaborate like hallways. It's just like there's lefts and rights and like it's all over the place. There's like some spots with like water and stuff, but there's like boxes and like barrels of wine. And I'm like, who fucking puts this shit down here? I'm like, who's going to be like, hey, Ross, can you do me a favor? We're out of wine up here at the bar. Can you go down? There's a specific one. So listen, you're going to walk about half a mile down. You're going to take 3 lefts and a right. Okay. And then you're going to go straight for about another quarter of a mile. You're going to take 2 lefts, 2 rights, and then another left, okay? There's going to be some spiders down there, left. Okay? You should be writing this down. Are you writing this down?
So go straight till I see spiders.
Yeah, so go
2 lefts, 2 rights, okay? Spiders.
There's a save point before the spiders. It's very important that you use it or else, you're just not going to make it. But it's just one of these things. It turns out it's the cellar, but it's just like this labyrinthine, like fucking thing. And I'm just like, who thinks like... Of course, it's 2001. That's game design. You can't have like a big fucking thing, but it's just like full of rats and spiders. And I'm like, who fucking puts this shit all the way at the fucking end? Like, who's going to come down here and be like, yeah, I'm going to go for a fucking 3-mile walk to get some wine. I'll be right back.
Well, they swore it was clean before the rats and spiders showed up. They put the wine there and then they showed up and left it in that corner.
The health inspector sees that fucking cellar and he's just like, I'm not going down there. Like the opening cutscene is literally just my character like in engine walking through the city and he's walking like and he's walking through the city and he gets jumped by like 6 dudes and like nobody's on the streets or anything. And then like as soon as he's done getting jumped,
rats and baby bandoliers.
So as soon as he's done getting jumped, a guard just comes out and he's just like, what's going on over there? And the guys are like, okay, just take his gold and let's get out of here. You get to keep your life today. And then 2 guards roll up and they're like, you should get off the street. It's not safe out here. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're just like, yeah, you should really like not be here. It is super not safe out here.
Watch you get jumped.
Yeah, it's like they watched me get jumped. They're like, yo, I saw that. That sucked. Like, you should...
Like, damn, you should tell somebody that happened to you.
You should tell somebody. Like, that's dangerous. We should warn people.
We should really get somebody in charge of doing something about this.
And so, like, my character gets jumped and, like, dragged into this fucking pub. And the guards are just like, yeah, like, what? The city's getting worse every day. Hey, let's go back around the corner and not do anything again, I guess. Like, they're just out for number 1. They're just like, look, I'm not going to get killed for you. You shouldn't be out here. It's really, God. What a fucking weird game. God, yeah, they're all weird games. Oh my God, Russell made the meme.
Yep. At first, I thought that was your old room, like back in East Windsor, the dresser.
I didn't have that much space.
That's also very true. But
it'll be close to that, though. I have that gauntlet. I have a better dual disc. Oh, the Pip-Boy, though. I don't have a Pip-Boy. We can figure it out.
Where are the pants from? Oh, that's just one
MC Hammer.
That's part of the Spider-Man onesie.
Yeah.
Those are too baggy to be part of a Spider-Man onesie.
I like the dual disc touch. That's my favorite part, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I got the classic though. You got to have the Battle City stuff. That's the real shit. It's Battle City or bust. Yeah, that's my life. That was the games I played this week. It was every game had a story this week.
And then there's Divinity.
Take it easy, Russell. Thanks for hanging out. Yo, Divinity.
Later, Russell.
That guy who showed up in chat this week saved my run.
Was he a regular?
No, that was the first time I ever saw him.
He followed though.
He did.
Nice.
I hope he comes back next Tuesday. Because this guy showed up in my chat and he was just like, hey, so like, what kind of build are you going for? And I'm like, I don't know. So he's looking at all my stats. He's like, hey, you should take your stuff out of this and put it into this. Like you'll get a way bigger like damage buff. So this guy walks me through how to change my build. I go and I respec everything. Now I'm not doing nat damage, but like I'm out there and I'm just like, all right, stab, stab, leave. All right, come back, stab, stab, dead. Stab, stab, dead. Okay, leave, back in, stab, 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 dead. Just stabs for days.
We need to talk about the most important thing that happened, the PP Posse.
The PP Posse. Tell the world about the PP Posse.
There we go.
Tell the world.
That's the Pyramid Posse. We're officially the Pyramid Posse, even though me and Ross are the only ones who rep it. We're all pyramid boys. We got the pyramids ready to, transverse the environment. I haven't heard you yell PP Posse yet. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
It's true.
I don't know if
holding
you repped
back.
your set. So that's all I'm saying,
Cypher's just an honorary member. He doesn't care. But he has one, so
he literally just spent the whole night lighting everything on fire.
Yep.
We talked to him about the fire, and he's just like, "Oh well, it really sucks because you guys might be on fire tonight." And he's just lighting everything on fire.
And then he accidentally set me on holy fire, which makes me immune to all fire, which was
so
the
we
best thing
discovered
that's
holy
happened.
fire at least.
Yeah, that was incredible.
We killed a couple demons.
We killed a lot
we
of
talked
things.
one of them out, and then we killed the others. We killed the advocate finally because he had a book.
No, you killed the advocate. I didn't.
I had no
I
part
killed
of
the
that.
Nat helped inadvertently because he hit
he
someone
was in
else and it
crossfire.
ricocheted. Yeah, Nat was just like, "Yo,
It didn't
advocate,
ricochet.
you should have
It
just
didn't
moved."
ricochet. It didn't ricochet. It went right through him.
Yeah.
Yo,
Very different.
I've been thinking I do so little damage anyway most of the time because I'm really just in there taking hits. I've been thinking about taking almost all my points out of strength and putting them all into Constitution.
Run double shields.
Yep. It's
You could
right
be like
now.
that Dark Souls build that's just the doors.
Right now I'm at 30 strength and 32 Constitution. I'm thinking I just take away all the strength and have like 60
here's what
Constitution.
you do. Take away the strength, but put it into wits. So you get initiative.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have time to get hit faster.
No, so you can get in a position to be hit sooner.
Yep. I might mess around with that next week.
And then
just
like throw a chunk into like fucking memory too, and just load up a bunch of like tanky boy shit.
Yeah.
Like anything you're not running, just run everything. So for whatever's on cooldown, you just there's always something. You can do something every turn.
If you're going to take your points out of strength, then you could also take your points out of warfare because there's no reason for you to have warfare.
That's true. I might do some messing around with my build next week. Testing some stuff out.
If I was you, if you're gonna take away from your strength and you're just like, hey, I'm just not gonna focus on damage. If I was you, I would just focus on like crowd control and just be like, look, I want to get these abilities so that I can like heal myself or so that I can slow people down or stop them. Like just get a bunch of shit that's gonna like inconvenience the enemy.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of shit that's just gonna buff us. Like just put a bunch of points into like leadership and just be like, hey, I'm here.
I might do that. We'll see how that goes.
You'd be the Draymond of our squad.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'll get kicked out the most.
Yeah,
too bad
but
that's Cypher already.
But we respect.
Nah, you're the heart and soul. You know what I mean? You're the
you
guts.
Get kicked out, but everybody's giving you a standing ovation. You know, everybody's like, he's a real one.
Yeah. Anyway, Divinity was really good this week.
Divinity was really good.
I just had a heart attack because it said something about like this program that's crashed, and I was like, clearly it wasn't a program I was using. I don't know what the fuck crashed, but you know.
Divinity was fun. Divinity was really fun this week. I got in a fight with two bears that got mad at me because I stole like 72 jars of honey in front of them, and then they said "wow," and I didn't understand what they were saying, so I beat their ass. And then it turned into Void Woken bears.
Wow.
And then Pyramid Posse assembled.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Posse. Is that how we're doing? Hold on, how am I doing it? Like that?
I don't know. I just try to make a pyramid.
Is that good? Is that good? Did I do a good job?
I'm rolling.
All right, Pyramid Posse, let's go.
Pyramid Posse, you know what I'm saying?
Ross, Pyramid Posse. Yeah,
there you go.
Pyramid Posse.
See, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
you gotta do.
No, I like this.
Yeah, because then if you do this and then put it here, we're Illuminati.
X-Files theme intensifies. That played great on audio.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we did so much stuff yesterday that just like happened. We found that guy again that we didn't remember it was him at first.
We got source vampirism.
Yeah, we got source vampirism. I was going to say.
Finally, holy shit, dude. I just started using that fucking throwing dagger thing all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm in battle, throwing daggers. Just start fucking everybody up.
Yeah, I just started using the steam lance to just hurt Chris, but get rid of necrofire. So, win-win.
To just hurt Chris, but then necrofire, but mostly Chris.
I've been using the eagle eye vision to, stand hella far away and shoot shit.
Yeah.
And that's just like three towns over, and he's just like, he's on the boat, and he's just like, you guys are in trouble? Hold on. 5 minutes later, it's just like, how did he know they were going to be there?
Yeah, man, we beat that troll's ass. He thought he was hot.
Oh yeah,
shit,
level 18 troll. We just fucking ruined its
bridge.
day. Once I cast Decay on him and he couldn't heal anymore, he was fucked.
He pumped troll's blood like he was gonna beat our ass, and then was like, nah, fuck it.
But dude, if he had done that while he was decayed, if he had popped that shit, he would have been dead because he would have taken 3,000 damage.
That encounter made me question my existence in Divinity because it was the first time I failed a persuasion check, and I felt really bad about it. Like,
that's what you should do. Just like get 10 persuasion and just be like, I'm good.
That was funny because
never again.
He's putting everything into persuasion.
That was so funny because it was also the time where Cypher felt defeated because his fire did absolutely nothing.
Yep.
It was
what the fuck? And then Troll's blood activated and he didn't know what happened.
Yeah, he was like, he's weak to fire. I told you. And then he healed it all. And he's just like, what the fuck?
And then it killed him. And then I revived him, and then I made him go mad. He's like, "What did you do?" Because he didn't realize, and then Nightmare decayed him, and it was perfect because he couldn't do anything because he was mad, so he just was kind of running around. Didn't know.
I came up, I stabbed him in the fucking cankle.
I'm not gonna lie. Cypher realizing he was completely and utterly useless may have been my highlight of the night.
I think it was frustrating at the time, but the highlight of the night might have been when that thing kept possessing everybody.
Yeah.
I was having a great time. Personally,
I was having a good time.
Cypher was the only one not having a good time in that. He was like, it's just going to take one of us over again. And I was
I was the one who said he's just going to keep taking someone over. He kept saying to kill it. And I said no, because if we're not going to kill it, as soon as we hit it, it's going to go into somebody else.
And I was just like,
which is what he kept doing.
I was just like, I just want to see what happens. And then the first time I got possessed, the computer immediately healed Chris. And everything was right in the world.
Immediately cast regeneration on me. Not just heal, regeneration.
Oh, it was so good.
Me not getting possessed and just being like, let me kill it. I'll kill him. Can I kill him? That was funny. I was like, let me know if I can kill him.
I'll continue to say, I'll be very excited once we move on to a new game, just for some variety, because not every game we play is going to be this long.
Yeah.
But I do like my role of literally just walking into the middle of everything and standing there and then just seeing what happens.
You're literally the meme of the room on fire and you're sipping coffee. This is nice.
Yeah. I start off in the middle and then just what happens.
Yeah.
I just want to say, just to be clear, what I did, peace of mind, did save Ross. It just was, that was plot madness. That wasn't normal madness. That was plot madness. And we all agree.
It was advanced madness.
If you looked at my statuses, the madness went away for a split second before it came back.
You're right.
It did cure the madness.
Temporarily, yes.
And I have a source ability that also now cures madness, which is great.
He also has many abilities that cures me of life.
I do have many abilities that cures Curse of Life,
And
including
like that.
just encasing him in ice and then running in circles around him and then going tee-hee and running away. It's my favorite.
Tee-hee.
Just a little dwarf. Tee-hee.
I like, but for what it's worth, Ross, remember that guy, the guy who fixed my build said, like, we couldn't kill you.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe you're good just doing what you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah. It's true.
Ross walks in the bar fight. He's like that guy. He's getting punched in the face and stuff, but he's just not moving. He's just like asking for a drink. Bartender passes him his drink, takes a swig. Someone breaks the glass. The glass just bounces off of him. And he's just like, I was drinking that. And that's what gets Ross involved. Everything is chaos around him. He doesn't care. But once someone inconveniences him, and like whether it's like, hey, they hurt Chris, or hey, that's my friend. Boom, just gets involved. Tentacles, chickens, it's all over.
Everything you're describing, it's a miracle that I haven't killed Cypher like 75 times over the course of this playthrough.
A little bit.
If he sets me on fire, I might do it.
Sheesh.
Ross is just going to turn and just tentacle.
There's some moments where I was doing so much damage I didn't expect. Like, I shot something and did like 600 damage in one hit.
Yo, I did like 900 of that troll with one of my attacks. Like, that was nuts.
Oh, man.
I got to put more points into Scoundrel so you can enrage me, and I just do crits all day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. That enrage combo is good.
As well.
Yeah. It's real good.
I'm just going to bounce around and just be like, stabby, stabby, stab. It's getting good now.
That's it. That's it. I have for this week.
Yeah.
Same here.
Did we want to talk about the PlayStation thing?
Nah. PlayStation's working on 25 PS5 games, and half of which are new franchises. That's cool.
I think that's impressive until you think that, that's not guaranteeing all of them come out soon. You know what I mean? Like they could be working on a lot. Like what defines working on? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I would say that probably active, like approved for development. Like they're greenlit. Mm-hmm. I would say would be in development. But we know Sony Bend is one of them. But like I wonder if they're going to use this as an opportunity to diversify their portfolio, as we discussed in a previous episode. Or if they're just going to release more third-person, semi-open world, or varying degrees of open world action games.
Mm-hmm. True. Can I do
the one thing
we did? Oh, I thought we were done talking about.
No, I was just going to say one thing. They have continued to say that Horizon is coming out this year, though. Yeah. Like Herman Hulst said, like again that game is coming out this year, so like that game probably has to be pretty close to the finish line, if they're doubling down on that. So that's actually exciting in a year of delays. Sounds like Horizon might make it. So I'm excited about that. But Nat, please.
To reference last podcast, or not last, maybe the one before that, where it's like, I know no one cares about this, the Apple Epic suit. Yeah. I don't care about anything that's happening, but a quote from it came out today where it was like, is there anything like devious about Banana Man or whatever the skit is? And Epic's lawyers was like, no, he's literally a banana. There's like, can you show a picture of him? And yes, there's like, he's literally a banana. I don't know why that was a thing, but I seen that on Twitter today.
I'm telling you, that court case is like a gold mine of just ridiculous.
So,
guys, this was good. Yeah. This was a good episode. I recorded a new, you probably already heard it by now if you're listening, and hopefully you listened to it. I recorded a new Anchor ad. It is shorter and more concise. So that advertisement for you guys is a little better. Redid that today. You guys should keep listening to that, because maybe we'll get one of the bevy of sponsors we wish we had. Like, we don't need to get into it again, but I'm just saying, FanDuel offer, use promo code Baby Bandolier. We need to get somebody to give us the Baby Bandolier code. It doesn't need to be code HalfGen. It needs to be Baby Bandolier. And they're going to be like, why? I'm going to be like, why not?
It needs to be BBY Bandolier.
Yeah. Offer code BBY Bandolier.
Which is,
and they're going to be like, why?
BBY Bando.
BBY is technically in the Star Wars timeline before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah. Sheesh. The whole bandolier of BB-8s,
Oh, God. Let's end this, please.
Oh God.
I've
Thank
been
you
trying
guys.
to mitigate it, but you guys see my hair is slowly been picking up and going out.
A little bit.
I've been
Resistance is futile.
pulling it down. It's.
Oh, there it goes. Got the like.
Again,
It's
great
not
for
quite
audio.
alfalfa, but Nat's hair is very like bushy and out, and like part of it was sticking up on his right, viewer's left.
Look how long that is,
it.
man.
That length of hair, I would say, is at least 5 inches.
I would say that's
just
been
eyeballing
enhanced by Adam and Eve.
Nah, by hymns.
Hymns. Offer, don't forget to use hymns.com/babybandolier. Save 10% off your first order.
Think about it.
Somebody's gonna go and
I know
use
we're
all
joking,
these codes.
And
they're
I've
gonna be
actually
like, who the
used
fuck
hymns,
is telling
and
people
I
baby
actually do
bandolier?
believe in that product.
Who the fuck is telling them to use this shit? And they're gonna point them to this podcast. They're gonna be like, I guess we got to give them an offer code.
I just imagine the person going down the longest, like most confusing, like backwards Google search to find us.
I'm putting it. It's gonna be in the title. Is the title gonna be Bandolier of Babies or Baby Bandolier?
No, Baby Bandolier. Baby Bandolier.
I think
rolls
Baby
off the
Bandolier
tongue.
is better. Yeah.
Yeah. Have a baby, buy me a baby. Baby Bandolier.
Have a baby, buy me a baby. Baby.
Man, now Jen won't be disappointed because this is now no longer Anigen episode 2. It's turned into Baby Bandolier.
No, it has to be Anigen episode 2 semicolon.
So
or colon, yeah.
So it'll be
Baby Bandolier.
HalfGen podcast, little like brag, line.
Yeah. Hyphen.
Anigen.
Yeah.
Episode
Anigen
2 : Baby
colon,
Bandolier.
Episode 2.
That's the title.
Yeah.
That's the title. It's our best title ever.
I'm gonna just leave it as Baby Bandolier, but
the CPM is gonna be so up, man. I'm telling you.
What? But no,
you have to do it.
I have to do Anigen. You think that's gonna work with like SEO?
Yes.
So hold on. I have to type this. Hold on.
Anigen, colon.
This could be
Baby Bandolier.
This could be post podcast.
Anigen EP2.
This is still
Baby Bandolier.
Still podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Just the sound of Chris typing.
Yeah, why does it want to correct that? Okay, that's how I imagine it. That's how we want it to be.
Yes. It's not how we want it to be, it's how it has to be.
It's how it has to be. That's how we're doing it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
That's how it has to be.
Listen, now they get a little inside baseball. We bring it back. MLB The Show. We're back to games. This has been the show. Thank you for watching and listening and being here. This was a hell of a one of these. You can't see, but Ross's eyes are rolling out his window. Thank you guys for being here. Always appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
See you.